The vivo Z1Pro. We've seen how it fares with regards to gaming, and today with the full embargo lifting, it's finally time for the unboxing. Hey guys, Ash here, you're watching C4eTech. Now the vivo Z1Pro comes in this cool looking box. Opening the flap, we see some spec highlights. We then have a booklet explaining all the key features. Let's get to that later. Pulling on the sash, here's the vivo Z1Pro retail box. We have the PUBG Club Open branding to the sides as Vivo is the official sponsor for it. Let's now cut through the plastic, slicing through the seal at the bottom. We first have the manual. Next up is a clear case from Vivo. Now that's always a nice touch. It's a nice thing to have included in the box. And now the star of the show, the vivo Z1Pro itself. Let's peel the plastic off. Oops, nearly dropped it. The cover is finally off and here's our first look at that gradient back. It's plastic, yes, but it's pretty. This is the Sonic Blue variant. Let's power it on, put the case on it and set it to the side. We then have a SIM ejector pin, an 18-watt charger, a micro USB cable, sadly no Type-C, and the last thing inside the box is a earpod style pair of earphones. So yes, the 3.5mm headphone jack is still retained. It's right here at the bottom edge, along with the primary mic, the micro USB port and the speaker grill. Now before we take a look at the other placements, if you've been liking what you've been seeing so far, please do consider turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. So back to the placements. To the right, power and volume keys, nothing up top. To the left, we have an AI button along with a tray that houses a triple slot, so dual SIM plus micro SD here. Now that dedicated AI button can be used to wake up Google Assistant, and not just that, you can also configure it from the settings menu to have separate double press as well as long press actions. Vivo has even gone a step further and included a list of custom Google Assistant commands that work exclusively on the Z1Pro. So for this, it kind of integrates with Vivo's Jovi Assistant. So for example, I could say, take photo in the night mode. And there you go. This is what happens. Now, even with the hardware, Vivo's focused on AI with this phone. While not the 730, the Z1Pro does come with the unique Snapdragon 712 AIE here. AIE is Qualcomm's artificial intelligence engine, and Vivo has used it to implement what they are calling an AI-powered multi-turbo system here. So Vivo has this GameCube app that we saw on the gaming video, right? It boosts the system performance for all games as expected, has options to block calls and notifications. When it comes to PUBG, it has a couple of unique tricks. There's an esports mode that lets you optimize touch controls to avoid mistakes. It tweaks the performance settings so that the phone doesn't begin to lag or stutter, even if the temps run a little high. And it also offers a sound localization training center, basically an app that trains your ears to distinguish between the different footsteps and bullet noises in PUBG. Pretty cool if you're into PUBG, right? Now to go along with this performance, the Z1Pro has a large and beautiful 6.55-inch IPS LCD display. The resolution here is Full HD Plus as expected, and Vivo claims a screen-to-body ratio of over 90%. There is a cutout to the top, and in this display is a 32-megapixel selfie camera. We'll get to that in a bit. The bezels here are pretty thin. This is not an AMOLED panel, but the display here looks great. It's punchy with excellent colors. So the media experience, whether it's gaming or watching Netflix, it should be quite immersive. Now talking about Netflix, it is worth mentioning that my unit only came with Widevine L3, but when I asked Vivo, they told me that the retail units, they will be shipped to buyers with Widevine L1. So streaming HD content should not be a problem. Rounding hardware off, we have a high capacity 5000 mAh battery. Now given the specs, it should last long. And there's always the 18-watt charger if you need to top up quick. Vivo is also offering OTG reverse charging, so you can use the Z1Pro as a power bank if you need to. Not that you really should. Other hardware includes 4 or 6 gigs of RAM to go along with 64 or 128 gigs of onboard storage. That, as we saw earlier, can be expanded via the dedicated micro SD slot. Now, on the software side of things, we have Funtouch OS 9 built on top of Android 9 Pie. Now, Funtouch OS isn't something I've always had fun using, no pun intended. That's basically because it's got a certain learning curve to it, and it's quite different from other interfaces. Like for example, it doesn't come with a settings cog in the notification shade. It instead has an iOS-esque control center. But from a smoothness standpoint, Vivo seems to have done well. From a feature standpoint too, we've seen GameCube, the Google Assistant custom functions, then there's Smart Split, Smart Click, and a bunch of motion controls like shake to turn on flashlight. There's quite a bit to do here, but they do have a learning curve. So that's basically the software. As far as optics go, we have a 16 megapixel primary camera here that's coupled with a f1.78 aperture lens. The pictures it takes seem to turn out good. We have vibrant and punchy colors. The dynamic range was excellent. The details too seem to be above average. Initial impressions at least. Vivo's provided a dedicated night mode that seemed to up the quality of the shots taken. The secondary 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera also seemed to do well. The 120-degree field of view, that's something I always liked having on a phone. It kind of helps fit a lot more into the frame. The colors, dynamic range again look decent. Of course, Vivo markets them as AI triple cameras, so all the images you're seeing here, they were shot with the AI mode on. The third sensor is a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and Vivo's offering a variety of portrait lighting options along with the regular portrait mode. They also let you adjust bokeh in post, which is quite neat. The edge detection seems to be on point, and I can say the same about the 32 megapixel selfie camera too. Good background blur and loads of lighting effects to choose from. Speaking of selfies, the Z1Pro did capture some good looking shots. There's a decent amount of detail, and yes, this camera does take 32 megapixel shots by default, unlike some of the competition. Now overall, the vivo Z1Pro seems to be a good mid-ranger. Now is it gonna be a good deal for us to buy or not? That's gonna largely depend on what price it comes in at. And sadly, the price is not something I'm aware of at the time of shooting this video. Once I get to know the price though, I will try to kind of bake it into this video somewhere, or I will leave it in the description, pin a comment, so do check that space. And we'll talk about everything else in the full review. Do you guys want to see a full review? Let me know in the comments below, and if you guys want it, I'll try to make that happen. And we do have a couple of active giveaways right now. Check them out if you haven't yet, links in the description. And I guess that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about the video. Subscribe, turn on notifications if you haven't yet. So what do you think about the vivo Z1Pro? Impressed? Aren't impressed? What do you like about this phone? What do you think Vivo should have done differently? Again, let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.